This is Appalling News. I'm Paul Chettle. Owen XCJ Hurcomb has a problem with the UK's Cass review that paints a horrific picture of inappropriate transing of young adults. Owen's tweet storm starts as follows. So the Cass review claims that for many centuries transgender people have been predominantly trans females. Page 114, as someone studying a PhD in transgender archaeology, I'd just like to say this is serious bullshit. Appalling News is not going to argue for or against the Cass review here. What we are interested in is this transgender archaeology thing. We went to Northwestern University in Chicago's website and found this paper, Towards a Transgender Archaeology, a Queer Rampage Through Prehistory, published in 2022. We have no idea what a queer rampage through prehistory is, but it sure sounds like something fun to do at a leather bar. The abstract reads, the first step in creating a transgender archaeology is a destructive one, tearing off the layers of unsupported assumptions about sex and gender that encrust the archaeological record and freeing the queerly formed bodies trapped underneath. Is tearing the layers off of encrusted archaeology like ripping a bandage off 5,000-year-old skeletons? 'Cause that's gotta hurt. And just looking at skeletons, how will we know it's a trans man without the oversized suit jacket and the padded shoulders? In the case of a trans woman, are we looking for size 16 open-toed pumps in the grave goods? This chapter summarizes the challenges currently facing archaeologists who study sex and gender. Yes, it's a challenge, because you're a bunch of loonies. It surveys some of the work of archaeologists who have moved beyond the gender binary and shows what an ungendering of the archaeological record can do. Yes, ungendering the remains of an Iron Age teenager will probably get you arrested. The first thing that comes to our minds is the apocryphal quote by Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy. He's dead, Jim. Back in 2023, a UK museum declared a 3rd century Roman emperor a transgender woman, and will start referring to the ruler as she, even though some historians believe it is based on ancient insults. The North Hertfordshire Museum said it is being sensitive to the purported pronoun preferences of Emperor Elagabalus, who came to power at 14 in 281 and died by assassination just 4 years later. According to ancient texts, Elagabalus married multiple women, but only for the purposes of learning their bedroom habits, and also tied the knot with a male chariot driver. This sounds just plain gay to us. And it wasn't uncommon for subsequent emperors to offer lurid accounts of their predecessors as a way of character assassination. Too bad there weren't copies of Honcho magazine back in 2081 to confirm this hypothesis. Off to Canada's loony left coast, we get this from our perpetually stoned brethren from British Columbia. Prisoners vent about toxic masculinity, microaggressions in Canada's Wokest prison. At William Head Institution, there are a number of initiatives which include an ethno-cultural book club, an ethno-cultural day of celebration, a Mandela workshop, as well as a food box program. The only thing missing is the arts and crafts lesson on how to fashion a shiv out of a spoon. The Correctional Service of Canada is spending approximately $57,000 on a series of group discussion sessions for federal prisoners to talk about racism, sexism, ableism, and microaggressions, among other topics. Isn't just looking the wrong way at a 350-pound gang member in the exercise yard a microaggression punishable by a near-death beating? the discussion on ableism probably didn't have the anticipated effect. The minimum security prison is located about 25 kilometers away from Victoria, which we're certain Victoria is thrilled about. Nearly 50% of the inmates serving time there serve life sentences, including for murder, which in Canada is a misdemeanor. The prison grocery store was praised for meeting the needs of diverse ethno-cultural residents very well, with an amazingly well-assorted grocery items and spices. The question we have is, why is there a preponderance of ethno-cultural inmates? William Head Institution has even installed a progressive pride sidewalk out front to represent our diversity. Just don't bend over to pick up any quarters you might find on the sidewalk. This is appalling news, and that's the way it is.